Hey travelers, Mag and I here on day 78 of our trip around the United States. We've made it to Minnesota, and we made it really just in time last night. It was dark, and we pulled off at a wayside. We had a good night's sleep, and we waited till morning to get started again. And it is a foggy morning. We have been driving through soup all morning, and it's a little lighter here at the Houston Nature Center, but it's still a little heavier than we like for driving conditions. This morning is going to be a much more relaxed day than yesterday was. We've only got 290 miles on the agenda, and we've got a pretty good target list that's very easily manageable. We're going to be spending the bulk of our time today in Rochester, but beside that, it's pretty much a westward push along the I-90 to get to the end of our route for the day. I see no problem with making it by the time the sun goes down, especially since we got to start at a good time this morning. I'm expecting a lot of good geocaches and a lot of good scenic viewpoints today, and hopefully this fog will clear up a little bit so we can actually see some of it. Either way, we're going to be out there geocaching, and we're going to have you come along with us. So let's see what the day has in store. Come on, let's go.
We'll go ahead and get things kicked off at the Houston Nature Center.
This is what I like to think of as a reverse multi-cache. It is right here at the parking area, but you have to walk out on the trails to stage 2 to go find the combination and then return again. Gives you a reason to go out and hike, so let's do exactly that.
For many years, the Houston Nature Center and Trailhead Park have held the title of the greatest little trailhead in the state. This is particularly fascinating when you find out that this place is owned, operated, and funded solely by the city of Houston, which has a population of only about 1,000 people. The park features a good parking area, access to the eastern end of the Root River Trail system, the community garden, picnic areas, showers, tent camping, and of course, the natural playground. I have every confidence that this place was only empty because we arrived here first thing in the morning. Otherwise, it was likely to be teeming with children. Between the tunnels, caves, pedestal pipes, treehouse, and slide, this 1-acre playground is basically begging you to come play on it. This feels like a hidden gem in southeast Minnesota. From there, we push through the thick fog a short ways down the road to reach the Rushford Scenic Overlook.
The Rushford Scenic Overlook. I'm sure it's probably a bit more scenic when the fog's not this heavy.
In retrospect, we really should have seen this coming. Fortunately, things finally started to clear up when we reached Rochester around lunchtime. First stop on the list is the Freedom Shrine, which houses 30 of the most important historic American documents, including the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Gettysburg Address. It's a very short walk around the corner from there to reach the Soldier Field Veterans Memorial. This memorial is intended to honor the sacrifices of Southeast Minnesota veterans, past, present, and future. It tells the story of conflicts throughout history and provides a place for members of the community to come and reflect on the weight of veterans' sacrifices. The three main elements of the memorial are the Wall of Remembrance, the Walk of Remembrance, and the Trees of Remembrance. The Walk of Remembrance surrounds the exterior wall of the monument and is comprised of about 6,300 pavers that have been donated to honor veterans who have served with the U.S. Armed Forces or its allies. Every panel of the exterior wall is intricately detailed with a mural that tells the story of past conflicts throughout U.S. history, in a span of time from the Civil War all the way up to the Gulf War. You could spend a significant amount of time studying each of these panels and still not take in all of the details. But it would at least be time well spent. The interior walls near the entrance are filled with military facts spanning from the Civil War to the Gulf War, and also include a history of the American flag. The primary focus of the memorial is the 12-foot-high, 52-foot-long wall of granite at the center that contains the names of 3,000 veterans from southeast Minnesota who have died during conflicts. We really couldn't help ourselves but to explore every single part of this monument, everything it had to offer. A very impressive display and a great honor to our troops, to be sure. Only after taking our sweet time to explore the memorial did we finally make our way into the heart of downtown Rochester. And with it being a Saturday, we had the place practically to ourselves, which made parking a breeze. For the most part, we let the virtuals act as our tour guides. They helped us to discover some very interesting statues along our walk. Some more interesting and confusing than others. I'll admit though, I can certainly see the appeal of riding a dolphin in this fashion. As much as we enjoyed exploring downtown Rochester though, and we did really enjoy exploring the city, it was nothing compared to the geocaches that we got to find today. They were very creative.
I spotted this geocache driving up. It's not exactly made to be difficult to find, but this kind of combination lock, I can't even tell you the last time I opened one of these. I had to Google it and watch a YouTube video. But I did manage to accomplish the mission with a little help. It's actually a pretty nice TV hotel in here too. Okay, so I'm sure this one doesn't belong. Number one, there's nothing that needs to be powered here. Number two, what's this? Where's our grounds here? So let's see, what do we got going on? Oh, yep, okay, pulls right out. I see a little mechanism here. This is the only possible location for this geocache. Do you see anything? There are some very creative hiders in this part of Minnesota. It takes a devious mind to come up with something like this. Check it out. Press, lock, and release. Once again, we ask ourselves, can you spot the geocache? Take a good look here.
Some of the best geocache hides out there are the ones that are right there in front of you. And this one does a great job of hiding in plain sight.
Give up yet? And there we have it.
In Austin, we stopped off for the Peace, Fallen, and Veterans Memorial, which is highlighted by a 3-stage virtual cache. By that point, we'd already reached the end of our route for the day, so just one more stop to visit the Jolly Green Giant in Blue Earth, because how could we not say hi to this big guy?
That brings a close to our first full day in Minnesota, and today could not have been more polar opposite than yesterday as far as time management goes. Yesterday, where we had a completely bloated target list, and even counting all the severe cuts we made, we still ended up finishing behind schedule. Today, we did all of the targets on our list, except for the ones that we couldn't for one reason or another, and we still ended up grabbing a whole bunch of other stuff and are more than an hour ahead of schedule right now. So we're gonna go ahead and keep pushing on into tomorrow's route and see where we can get before the sun goes down, and then we'll stop for the night from there. As far as the counties and pages in Minnesota go, it's another state where it's pretty well balanced like Wisconsin and Michigan were, except for the northeast part of the state. That's where we're going to be working strictly to go find those pages. The counties are large and the pages are small, so we'll be bouncing up and down through there. Otherwise, it's really a balanced game as we weave our way north all the way through the state little by little. It's been a great day on the road. We really enjoyed the chance to drop into Rochester, especially since it was a weekend and it wasn't heavily trafficked and we could find parking. For some of the big cities like that and the college towns, visiting on the weekend makes all the difference. When we initially made this trip plan, we weren't planning on days of the week. We planned the route as we went. We assigned the days and broke it up, and we let the day of the week fall where it was. So sometimes we ended up unlucky, like we did in the capital in Madison, Wisconsin, where we couldn't find parking anywhere. And sometimes we end up really lucky like we did today in Rochester, where we could pull up right next to the spots we wanted to go and see through everything in the city. We hope you guys have enjoyed the sights today and all the great geocaches we found along the way. If today was any indication, we're going to be finding some really good geocaches in Minnesota, because today had some really creative hides to it, and we can only hope that that's going to continue as we push our way north. Like this video, subscribe to stay tuned for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.